Hey everyone, it's Alex and Gio from Radside, and we are here today to look at the Skeletor from Sideshow Collectibles. This is a 1/5 scale polystone statue. We're going to go over it, let you know what we think, so keep watching.
It is the exclusive.
It is. And he's also got a little rubber ball with him as well. Alright.
Yo, welcome to Team Rad Titan, and as Alex was saying, today we're going to be looking over the Sideshow Collectibles Skeletor Polystone Statue exclusive. Now the exclusive is 2,000 pieces, and you receive the exclusive head, which is the sort of manky, sort of yellowy green skull head. I've got the regular on there at the moment, which me and Alex actually prefer in terms of how the statue looks, but we'll get on to that. That's a story for another time. All right, so we'll go on to the base and we'll start our way there. A little bit of a background history on Skeletor. Skeletor was known as Keldor and was the brother of Randor, who now is king of Eternia. But at the time, he was not king. And Skeletor, being half blue people and half Eternian, means he wasn't allowed to be the heir to the throne, the true king, because he wasn't full Eternian. That left him sort of like battling against Randor and fighting with them.
Typical sort of story, really.
Yeah,
like with Thor and all that.
Exactly, the favourite brother. And Thanos as well. Thanos has got the mutant gene.
The half brother thing where Loki's half.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Similar sort of thing, yeah. He's
Frost Giant.
Frost Giant, yeah, but they called it something. I've forgotten what it's called now. Someone on TV, someone watching is going to be going, this, screaming it.
I do know with Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
when Joe Rogan's talking about films and he goes, "Yeah, it's like that movie where what is that guy?
Will Smith.
Don't worry about it. I'm shouting, going, no, it's this, it's this."
But yeah, so he's passed over for the throne, fights with Randor regularly. Randor's this young, brave, upcoming, gonna be king guy. He basically has a reflective spell that hits him in the face and starts melting. He's a good-looking guy, Keldor. Deflected? Yes, deflected's fine. Yeah. Good word. Deflected spell that hits himself in the face, and that starts melting his face. And he is a handsome dude, Keldor. He then Evil Lyn manages to sort of keep it at bay while he gets him to sort of like this big throne room where he starts calling his master, who is Hordak, because Skeletor is Hordak's apprentice, pretty much like Sith level shit. So he's asking for help, and Hordak's like, "Listen, give me your soul and I'll help you." And he does, he gives it up, and therefore, and he changes his face into this rotting sort of skeleton situation. And obviously part of his personality is never the same afterwards. Becomes that sort of almost Joker-like lunacy.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
And it's very much like Joker as well, isn't it? Got a bit of that going on.
Yeah, definitely taken references from a lot of places.
Yeah, but you can. And I mean, it is canon, so that's how it goes. And
that was the thing with the original, the original toys, where the toys were created and then the story was afterwards to sell the toys.
Yeah.
So, they probably just picked up all the stuff from all over the place. And around the 80s, everyone was ripping off everyone else. Yeah. So, these are the toys, actually. This is the original toy from 1981.
Jesus, the year I was born then.
Yeah. This one was made in Taiwan. And then you got the...
Panther,
where I think little Georgie's taking his eyes out, which is a bit creepy.
Little Georgie's taking his teeth out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, one of his teeth missing too. So yeah, you got this cheap flocked.
That's my son banging it off things. But anyway, getting on to the statue. So it's 2,000 of the exclusive, which is quite high, but it's sold out in record time, and you can see by looking at this statue why that is the case. Now, I managed to get a really good deal on this. I bought the Hordak pre-order because I loved the way it looked, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get Skeletor. I'm going to pair them together. This is the way.
Skeletor first.
No, it was not. No, it was Hordak pre-order first, and then I did the deal for Skeletor. I knew I was going to get the pre-order, so I started looking for Skeletor. And then I bought the pre-order and then did the deal for Skeletor after some negotiating with Richard
Gauthier.
I want to say that. Gautier. Nice guy. He packed it all up. I didn't have a box. I got a great deal on the price. And then sadly, when it arrived, I had it picked up by my brother-in-law. It was all boxed perfectly, but this hand was missing. So it looked like that.
Which is
a bit of a problem. It does look like he's now going, where's my hand? What happened to my hand?
The original Freddy or something like that, where he's hiding behind his bag. You can get away with it.
But thankfully, due to the community being awesome, and that's part of the reason why I've managed to stay in it for as long as I have, is actually the friends that I've met there and the good people that are in it. I asked for some help. I had Ian Wilkinson on standby to freshly sculpt me, recast me another hand. So I asked around, and, I got, a great response from Jan. I can't pronounce his double surname, but basically sent it all the way over from Belgium. He risked his own statue to send it to me, and the hand was resculpted. And then, as a thank you, Ian did him an exclusive one-of-a-kind skull in his hand, and I got this an orb, which is what I chose. I wanted an orb, and that's because as part of Skeletor's origin, he's searching for, when he meets Evil, and he's searching for the orb of something that he's looking for. And I thought that was kind of funny that I asked for an orb, and it wasn't for that reason. Yeah. It's just strange that I asked for that, and that was in his origin story that I didn't even realise. I'll put it on shortly, but we'll just show you it as it is. Yeah. So we'll start at the base, and we'll try to be brief, but...
Yeah. Just going on to the base, obviously this is from Skull Mountain. So this is where his base is, and you can see the snake, you can see all the lava. Let me turn this around a bit quicker. You can see all the snake here, the lava coming through. My main issue with this is, especially in this light, you can see the reflective blues and the blue highlights across the top here. It's exactly the same as the skin color of Skeletor. So when you see his feet, for example, here on the rock, probably going to prove wrong in camera light.
Always.
But seeing this through my eyes in front of me, this foot is exactly the same color as the rock and the snake there as well.
Too similar, definitely.
Way too similar. Way too similar. And again, the lava's done well. It's like a very kind of pliable plastic there, so that's done obviously to prevent breakages, which would have very, very smart, and it would have occurred. But going through, I think they could have just put in a bit more detail on the snake,
definitely,
just to separate from the rock and the skin tones.
I totally agree. 100% agree.
The lava does add to it, but I don't think it adds enough.
There's a little bit of a shine in certain areas where the lava's reflecting off the snake, but I think
the lava colours should have been more
prominent going through there like that all the way up. That would, definitely.
And that would have broken up.
I definitely agree, and I really, this pisses me off when I see the same colours used in one place and put on another. Yeah. There's no need for that blue to be on there. You can say it's reflecting off the skin, but let's not play, let's not toss me off under the table and pretend you're someone else, right? The situation is that is a lazy ass blue that shouldn't really be on there. There should be a sort of a more of a thicker purple. The lava should be running through it, and there should be some more sort of, it's almost washed in the colour as well. There's not, it needs to be highlighted and some more work done in. These rocks should be a completely different colour as well and break away from this snake. That is the weak part of this statue.
I wouldn't say weak though. It's
I would score it low, dude. If you were going to score that base, I would score that base as a mediocre 4 or 5 out of 10. I like the snake and the mouth and the teeth and the sculpt, but
I think the sculpt is there. Yeah. I think it's definitely the paint.
Yeah.
The paint really
kills it, doesn't it?
Kills it, yeah, for sure.
But then you start moving up the statue, and then you get into this unbelievable sort of level of detail. Now, let's just talk about something. When this came out and it got in hand, there was uproar about the amount of PVC and PUE plastic elements on
PU.
Is it not E?
No.
Why am I saying E?
Just as I suspected. Hello!
Oh. You might be right. Is that a place?
PUE.
Is there something with an E in it? Is there something UE? No, is it UE? A place probably like Arab Emirates, isn't it? It fucking is, isn't it? United Arab Emirates. It's UAE. That's where I'm going. Anyway, kind of PU could be. But anyway, it got PVC and PU sort of problems where people were like, oh, it's plasticky, it's some cheap parts. Let's just clarify two simple facts here, right? One, to use PVC elements in anything that is not like hundreds of thousands over, tens of thousands. It's very expensive to use. So it's not a cheap element. And also
to make the PVC, you have to create steel
casts,
milled out casts. So once you then make the cast, unlike the casts you use for the polystone, which probably silicon or something, you can only use them in a very limited amount of time.
Before the
15,
sculpt detail starts to get lost.
15 to 25 times, depending on the actual detail on there. But with the PVC ones, to mill out the steel, it's very expensive, and to do that. But once you have them, you can do it a million times.
Yeah, you don't use any details.
Which is probably why the edition size was high on this.
And also why the details on the armor and the PVC elements or the PU elements is so crisp. And they are fucking crisp. There is loads of detailing on here, and it's really important as well for like breakage issues, because this is a very hardy material and it can take a bit of a knock, whereas in polystone and cold cast porcelain can't. You knock that shit, these spikes, they're busted. The parts across the knee, broken. This thing across the belt, broken.
Well, even
all these spikes across his neck, broken.
Even to cast, you're going to have a lot of high percentage of damages and
massive
QC issues. So you need to do it out of these kind of materials to do that. As I say, as George is saying, the detailing, the extra detailing you can get with these plastics, and that's also the term that throws a lot of people off is when you say it's plastic, but then also when you look into the fact the actual statue is polystone, which poly is plastic anyway. So there are elements.
You're tripping on your own.
So it's kind of like it's just terminology of what the thing's made from.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not actually what it is.
But the actual statue itself, the figure is polystone. It's got a really good weight to it and all of that sort of business. But when it came out, there was a bit of an uproar with that. A lot of people actually were like, I'm really disappointed with those elements. But those elements, I have to tell you, they actually bring the whole sculpt alive. There is so much detail. I mean, running up. I mean, just look at that. Look at that work on them, on them boots and the guards. Look how crisp that is. All them lines. I mean, it's like Celtic, like tribal skulls and stuff. It's everywhere. It's just absolutely magnificent, and that runs across his feet. Then you go up into you go up into his belt, and then you've got these. Even the points where you've got all the studs going down the outside of the leather thing. It's so delicate. Whereas if this was polished, it'd be thick as shit. It'd be really thick and clunky. It wouldn't look great at all. Then you've got the Hordak nod there to him being his boss, and then the snake wrapped around it. Yeah.
I like the way as well, because when I first saw it, I was like looking at the belt a bit, and I was like, okay, but I do actually like it now where you can see the belt in the sections.
Yeah.
The sections of
so it's movable, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not going to be stiff where you can't move.
If that was a solid, like stiff belt the whole way around, it wouldn't be functional. I actually really like the way you see the skull and crossbones in the center of his chest, and then it comes around. He's almost got like a spine,
vertebrae parts,
like vertebrae coming around, which goes all the way around to his back, and it all continues to the back as well. Which it's almost unfortunate that it gets covered up by the cape.
You can take the cape off.
The cape is done really, really well. The cape, I really like the style of it. I like the lining. I like the way it's all stained. Like here is all stained where it would have dragged along the floor. Even here is all like muddy. And then I like all these kind of the way it's all been like kind of patchworked together.
Yeah,
I really like that as well.
Yeah,
and then it come around and you've got like the sword on the back of that as well, which I quite like as well. And
it's got loads of great stitching running through that.
There's just so much.
I mean, it's got this cross stitching going down the outside and all around the inside. It's just brilliant. It's not a simple stitch.
Detail. And he is actually like one of the funny things about the cartoon is Skeletor always calls the He-Man like you muscle-bound fool or
you muscle-headed idiot.
Yeah, all these kind of things. But in the cartoon, Skeletor's bigger.
It's jacked.
Skeletor's. I remember we watched the when it came out on DVD.
Yeah.
We waited for it to come out and we watched it, and we were like, damn, man, Skeletor's hench.
Yeah, he's hench, man.
What's going on?
Jack, bro.
But in this, they kind of go for a more lean, kind of athletic look. I mean, he's still big. He's still really big, but more athletic. Also, you got, sorry, I just noticed there the real great detail upon the knee.
Yeah, the skin, that baggy skin.
Yeah.
Well,
just like the kind of harder,
the water. Of course.
Well, it goes a bit
nutsack
like
skin.
It goes a bit like, not crusty, but it goes a bit like dry.
Yeah, they've got that in the sculpt detail. I mean, this is one of the few times of a factory piece that I've ever seen black shading. Also, we were talking about this on my custom Red Hulk repaint on the PF, but they've used black shading here. It's really harsh, but it really does. The blue is like electric blue, man. It's like boom, like that, And then you've got these crazy details. The sculpt's banging, athletic but strong. He's got a bit of a Roy Jones Junior bicep, but it's like his bicep is like 70% of his arm, which anatomy-wise is very rare for that to be. If you build your triceps, they should be like 60-70% of your arm. And then you sort of go in, and the way this actually comes, so you get the base, you get the figure all one piece. The two hands, that hand is connected to that staff. Then you've got the two heads and the armor that goes around the neck. The cape is separate, and then the sword is separate. So it's quite a lot of parts there. But when you start putting it together piece by piece, man, I could feel my excitement just rising. I was like, oh, the sculpt on this is really good.
I do realise the hand was missing.
Yeah, but that was it, yeah. But then the base, I was like, and then I've got the figure, I was like, oh, figure's good. Then it was like, oh, that cape's nice. And then it was like, oh, look at the guards, they look great. And then you put the shoulder thing, like, fuck, that looks banging. Then you put that on, and you just like, and it just goes and goes and goes. And it doesn't feel like there's ever going to be a ceiling. This might be one of my favourite pieces in my collection that isn't been customised in some way in terms of paint. Because a lot of the pieces now that are favourites of mine, I've repainted them to my standard and my spec. But this, factory-wise, is probably one of my favourite pieces that I own. I mean, I really like the cape. I think with a mixed media cape with a great sculpt.
Without the cape?
I set it up without no cape and looked at it, and it looked great. I did like it. But I felt that the cape with the purple inside just added mass to it, just thickness to him. It gave him more strength. It gave him power. And I really dug it, man. But the detailing everywhere, you like...
Also, it wouldn't really work. If you took off the cape, you still got a hood.
What? Oh, yeah. I guess so. But the fact that the hood is like sculpted in the mixed media, I think you could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is like a solid metal as well. This is metal all the way up. And the
also,
rams...
as I say, I didn't know this until when this has been spinning around, but I can also see on the top of the ram's head, you can see the light catching in the globe on top of that, and the orb going through it, and I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, because it's like a clear resin thing. And then it's basically the light up in the eyes looks like that power from the orb is travelling out of the eyes. It's coming out, the light. But the ram's head is done really well. A couple of sloppy joins on the top here, but I really don't know how, there's a lot of like separation in the guards and the armour parts anyway, so you're forgiven there.
Funny thing was like, Skeletor's jacked, but the funny thing is in school, everyone used to call me Skeletor as
an
insult.
They did, yeah.
Because I was like, I was a really skinny kid. And they all called me Skeletor.
Really skinny? You were slim, you weren't really skinny.
I was skinny.
Nah, you weren't.
And then they all called me Skeletor as that, but then it was like, Skeletor ain't skinny, man.
It's
not really an insult.
I think that when you start talking about like the sculpting details in the guards and this neckline and the spikes and the thing that protect his head from being decapitated by He-Man, I think it's amazing. And I love the detailing. It's almost tribal Celtic sort of styling. Or maybe elvish, actually. It could be elven. You could say it's more elvish. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, it's a blend between all of it. Like,
it just looks, and there's so much. When the light hits it, so much flashing up in front of you.
Medieval as well. That's
it's just really powerful, what I see when I look at this piece is the person that made this loved this.
Yeah.
They loved this character and they put shit tons of work into
David Igo
the detail.
One of the big, the creative director for this, I think. And then now, this was Sideshow on their own. Then He-Man was Sideshow on their own, I believe. And then Orko was Sideshow in collaboration with Tweetheads. And now I believe Tweetheads have taken over the licenses to do these pieces. It'll probably still have Sideshow's name on there anyway. But
and he's there. David Igo's there
David
working
Igo's
for
gone across.
Treacherous,
Yeah.
and he's heading up this,
I actually,
this line. So
I spoke to him recently about it, actually. I had a really long conversation with him on the phone about a lot of things, and the He-Man stuff came up, and I mentioned to him, I said, I remember several years ago where you did Monster Palooza, and you had all these mini busts of all the He-Man characters. So I know you're a huge fan, and it was his own stall. So I do remember that. Do you want to swap over?
Yeah, let's change them. Yeah.
Let's go with the other head.
The regular head, which we both prefer, is actually really nice. You know, some great paintwork in there, very clean teeth, very clean work, but just changes. I just think it moves the statue too far away from the classic. And there's some.
Oh, see that?
What's that?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying like how thin the hood part is, but then also the way it's joined.
Yeah.
It's a bit ropey, that, isn't it?
What do you mean?
You see how that join at the front? Right, kind of like.
Yeah, it's like it's a flat thing. Yeah, that could easily pop off.
That could well easily break.
That could easily break. It won't matter, but it could easily do it. But I mean, really clean, super. And what I love about this is you can see his skin through it. You can see the blue from the neck going into the, you know, and it's the same there. They're little, like hovering thing. Really good portraits, both of them. It's changed to the orb of chaos, orb of chaos and doom.
The orb of.
Welcome to your doom.
That's the Orb Beast, is it?
Yeah, hold on.
Rise from your grave.
So then I had this. This is the one of a. This is a one of a kind orb thing that I put on his hand, which is like got a nice pinky sort of metallic paint that I asked for. Yeah. I dig it, man, and I prefer using the exclusive portrait because it stays classic. But it stays. It stays there.
His head's like,
yeah, but it just stays where I need it to be. I think when I look at the head on this body and with all this armor and all this glitter and glam and style, I still know it's Skeletor. When this comes on it, it could be like we were talking about earlier. It could be World of Warcraft. It could be some anime. It could be some monster that I'm not aware of, and I would believe it. If someone said it to me, other than the Snake Mountain nod and the sword and the ram. Those are the 3 points. Yeah, but Hordak's a hard one because. Yeah, that's very clearly Hordak.
Yeah. I think one of my issues though with this head, for example, I don't like the gum part.
The join.
The gum, like the way the teeth come in. I don't like the way they're done.
Why?
I think they should have been sculpted in more than just painted.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a lazy sculpt bit there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you definitely, with today's skills, you definitely could have individual teeth in that sort of thing, or at least sculpted them differently.
Yeah, just like little grooves on there.
I love this though. I mean, this to me is the definitive sort of
again,
look for Skeletor.
It's like nitpicking. I could also go, well, you know, I don't like the way the shading goes over the nipples, and they're the same colour as the shading, so the nipples are not prominent. But hey, that's
yeah, I mean, listen, if you want to cling to, you know, if you want to cling to things, then cling.
Back up, muscle boy.
I mean, the nipples are pretty prominent to me. They look lickable in my eyes.
No, but
I love the texture
way
on
that
the skin. His skin
across.
almost looks slightly scaly, which I really like.
Well, it does definitely here on this side. Here.
Same with the abdomen and the chest. It's almost scaly. It's not. He's got like a thick skin, which I really dig.
Yeah.
I think this is a masterpiece. I was never.
What's the porous?
I was never so excited. I have to. This is one that I got in from pictures, and I was like, you know, I've never seen this. This is one of the things that I've never seen in other stores and other places. I've not come across it.
I've seen it a few times.
You might have. I haven't.
I thought you saw it in Prague. You told me.
I have not this. I didn't see this here.
No.
I've not seen this. Like, and then when I was building it and putting it together, I was just like, fucking, this is wow, man. This really is special.
It's nice. It's really
and
nice.
There's other, like, people are doing like customs of them now, but there's nothing anywhere near on this level yet. Nothing.
Yeah, some of them are quite lacking. The new one was quite nice. The one we did in the chat last time.
Close up, I'm not too keen on. I think the details are a bit wank. Well, the pictures when you get sort of in, I like the Keldor portrait. But other than that, I really didn't think the rest of it. It just looked. You know, like one of them ones that from afar, it's like bling and shit, but then you get in and you're a bit like, you know, I don't know. No, I wasn't really feeling it. But it's massive.
Do you think that if this was quarter scale, that people would have gone more crazy for it?
Yeah. I think the 1/5 scale, but this is big. Like I'll show you. But the 1/4 scale is definitely where the money would have been on it for sure. It's a big statue though. This, like, you could get away with quarter scale. This could get away with quarter scale. with other pieces. If you had like some of the Comiquette stuff and characters that are not monstrous.
What about a switcher with the sword hand, stuff like that?
What you mean, like changing that one? I think that's a good idea. Yeah. I think that would be a cracking idea.
Switch over the sword up like.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if the hand is a good.
Yeah, but that hand is angled for this thing. If you did a straight hand and a sword up that way, it would still work. Because that part of the wrist that does that, that's all on the sculpt. So you could just change it to up. So it's not a problem. But yeah, I mean, I really do. The ram's head would, even if it was a sword, the ram's head would never be moved. I think that ram's head.
Or you'd put a sword somehow in his left to keep him holding that.
Yeah, you could put it sort of like across there, maybe if you wanted to, or down like a dagger. You could have it like a dagger that way. There's loads of options that you could do. But I'm a massive fan of this. It's definitely one of the best pieces I've seen. Are you
tempted to pick up a He-Man?
No.
If it comes up and like...
No. I saw someone selling it reasonably recently, but I like it because I love the Dolph Lundgren element that has it in the portrait. But I'm really just going to concentrate on the villains, and I may just stop at Hordak. It may just be Skeletor and Hordak, the two main guys.
They are working on it.
I know, but I was never really massive on the others.
I think the next one is like
Trapjaw.
Yeah,
I think it's Trapjaw. There's going to be She-Ra. No. Tila, and then Trapjaw, I believe, is what's going to be coming. Maybe Whisper. You don't know.
I think that guy, the guy, because I get mixed up with which one says She-Ra.
It's very hard to not score this like stupidly high. His downsides are 2000 exclusive edition size and the base. That's literally it. Other than that top part, fucking next level shit. That will be timeless. I mean. It really was impressive. I'll measure it quick for you.
Get your tape measure out. The guardian of the tape measure.
Okay, so in terms of...
I said that the other day, someone commented. Can't remember what it was.
This height is around 53 centimetres. It's just a shade under 21 inches tall. In terms of width, you're probably going to turn it like that, but it's still going to be from there to there, so I don't need to do that. Let's just go that way and say it's around about 14 inches wide, so about 36. In terms of depth, do the back of the base is a bit that sticks out quite far, and then I'll do the front, which is probably just around the guard. You got it?
Yeah.
I would say you need around 10.5 inches to 11 inches maximum, so it's about 27 centimeters.
Okay.
So DTOV ready, but you can see, I mean, for a 1/5 scale, you know, the figure as well isn't small. So like from his foot to his head, I think it's around like Wolverine sort of size. Yeah, see, it's about 15.5, just the figure.
Yeah.
So that's about Wolverine sort of size.
Well, yeah.
It is. It's about 5 foot. That's about 5'3".
If it was quarter scale.
Yeah, if it was quarter scale. But that makes, if he was quarter scale, it'd be 5'3". So in 1/5 scale, he's about like 6.5, 6 feet, 6+.
No, quarter scale would be 5 foot.
What, 15.5 inches?
15 is 5 foot.
Yeah, but it's like 15.5. Okay. It's like
so 15.5.
About 5'3", 5'4", which is Wolverine size.
5'1".
Yeah. So what would he be if it was 1/5 scale? So what's a fifth of that?
1/5, you'd be massive. It'd be like 6.
5.
Yeah. Well,
6, 7.
Wait, I can't add up. 6'3".
Maybe, yeah. So I was going with about 6.5 foot.
6'3", 6'4", yeah.
Big fucker. But it's a statue that has a remarkable amount of presence as well. So congratulations if anybody have got this.
Let's grab Orko then.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Have a swig of coffee and let's get fucking partying, motherfucker.
Caffeine. Top.
Yes, it is. Like your mama. Panther!
Yeah, come on, Pepper. Yeah.
Taking me right back.
Yeah, he made you, boob.
That's Cobra Commander.
Oh, yeah.
He does say, "You're boob." Like, you're boob.
What's he saying now? What's that guy? Destro, you boob.
He does. Skeletor says boob though.
Does he?
He calls, I think, Evil Lyn. Or no, it probably is. It's like Beast Man, maybe.
He says to
Beastman's
Beastman,
like fucking
he goes,
well retarded, man.
He goes, Beastman, you wet buff mouth. You wet buff rugged.
Yeah, Skeletor was like this. He-Man, you muscle-buried idiot. That's pretty much it.
Skeletor's bigger than him.
Yeah,
Skeletor's
You
fucking
muscle-headed
massive.
fool.